and welcome to the Pig and Whistle Tales from Azeroth. As always here at the Pig and Whistle Inn in Stormwind, I go through a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft. So grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy. This midweek episode we'll be going over the forums, and we're going to be looking at, I've got a giant post here. I've not gone through it, but the title of it is End War Mode, and I'm inclined to disagree with it already because I think War Mode is one of the best things that they've brought out in the game over the last few years. So let's see what it has to say and how it can defend itself and justify itself. So, End War Mode. I've been thinking about this lately. I'm on Emerald Dream. Been there for many years. It was a hotspot for world PvP, and it was incredible during the Mists of Pandaria expansion. So many amazing guilds, fights, players, now a wasteland of nothing. War Mode is what killed this amazing experience. Blizz has catered to the PvE community too much and has demolished the PvP community in process. It's simple, get rid of War Mode forever. After all, the game is called World of Warcraft. I know people need time to go to the auction house, RP, do events and other things PvE wise. However, World PvP is what made WoW fun. The removal of PvP servers was really the end of World PvP after they implemented War Mode. I think the fix to this is, and they'll go on to list some things. Firstly, sure, if you're on a PvP server, this is great. If you're on a PvE server, you're kind of screwed if you want to do PvP. So PvP, or like PvP War Mode, I should say, you can opt in if you want to, and you can opt out if you don't. And with servers that have been merged, those who actually PvP in World PvP want to PvP. They aren't going to run away immediately and not fight you, or you're just going to bully someone who doesn't want to do PvP, like at that time, or, you know, whatever. So it gives people the choice, and those who are going to be in War Mode are going to be more likely to PvP with you and actually, like, give you a fair fight, if that makes sense. So I think the fix to this is get rid of War Mode. That's his first one. I mean, I think he's established that. I'm not too sure, but I think that it's a very solid point, you know. He really backs that up. Bring back PvP servers so that players that want to PvP World have one, especially Emerald Dream. Why not just opt into War Mode if you want to PvP? But what's stopping you from doing that? What is so different than that? Because this allows people... This actually is better and healthier for the game, in my opinion, because if you're on a normal server, yeah? Well, you know what? We'll start off... If you're on a PvE server and you feel like doing some War Mode or PvP and you don't have a War Mode like in the game, then you've got to go onto a different server that's PvP based, level up your character, gear the character and stuff like that. If you are someone who is a PvP player and you're fed up with your PvP server, you switch off of that realm, and it's more likely that PvPers will switch off of PvP realms to go to PvE than PvE players will go to a PvP realm. It's more likely that that's what would happen. So therefore, over the course of time, your realm will still be diminished in terms of numbers, and there will be less World PvP. This allows people to do both without having to switch servers, make a new character, do anything. And if some people want to chill that day, they can opt out of War Mode. If some people want to PvP, they can opt in and go to a hotspot for PvP. There's world quests, multiple of them, to be honest, world PvP quests that are quite a good hotspot for people that want to, like, do some world PvP. Implement a setup in which all cities and places are vulnerable to attack, even sanctuaries. Okay, that goes against what a sanctuary is, but alright. With this, have a timer set up for all places, with big cities having a longer cooldown from attackers. For example, if Horde attacks Stormwind after an hour of occupation, occupation the city, occupying, I think that's meant to say, becomes a sanctuary, and the city's NPCs deploy a force to stop the attacking force clearing the city. The city will remain a sanctuary for like an hour or two, so the city can regroup and take care of things needed. Each place could have a warning, like a siren or something else, to alert players to an incoming attack once the enemy faction hits the city. Yes, we have a local defense, but it's not like the siren or anything in-game. That's like NPCs going, we're under attack. Smaller places could have a shorter cooldown. That just makes no sense. Like, if you want PvP, but then you're like, oh my god, no, we need sanctuaries as well. If you want world PvP, you want everything that comes with PvP. That includes getting ganked, that includes getting camped, that includes everything shit to do with world PvP. You can't have these sanctuaries. If you want this sort of thing, go do a battleground. Go do a battleground or something, and, I don't know, defend a flag. You might be a bit safer there, and you might have one-on-ones, but just go and do a battleground. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Like, too many players sit in sanctuary areas that leave in a stale environment in which no one is doing anything but PvE stuff. Nothing wrong with that, but for world PvP, this absolutely kills any fun. Like, what? So he's talking about Valdrakken. In Valdrakken, it is a no-kill zone, essentially. You can do your professions, you can look at your talents, you can switch everything out. If you were to turn Valdrakken in world PvP, like anyone can kill anyone, it would be a fucking shit show. Every single city has basically shared, or every single expansion has shared a city between Horde and Alliance. You have Valdrakken, Oribos. The BFA ones are separate, so I'll give them that. What are the ones before that? Warlords of Draenor, Ashran, and Storm Shield, and I forget the Horde one. But they were different, which is fine. But they had a massive battleground in the middle, which was a world PvP battleground. I just want to say that. What was it before? Missa Pandaria were very close cities. You had Cataclysm, which were, well, on Azeroth, so there wasn't really a main city. It was kind of Stormwind and Orgrimmar, as per usual. You know, these sort of cities that are shared by the factions, if you were to enable PvP in them, one faction would own it. So one faction would own all of the new PvP vendors. One faction would own all the new PvE vendors. One faction would own the auction house there, the inn there, the professions there, absolutely everything. The cosmetic, vendors there. They would own absolutely everything because one number would always get the upper hand. And when one faction gets the upper hand in a major city, you're all just standing there waiting for someone to respawn. It's so tough to actually get the city back. As the opposing faction, and you don't want to deal with that. You just want to AFK, very calmly look through your talents, check builds, hit some training dummies, figure out your DPS, do some professions, do some, cosmetic stuff. You can do whatever in a city. You just want to chill. If you want to go and do stuff, you'll head out of the city, won't you? So making these sort of places a environment where you can get ganked, no, it's absolutely ludicrous, and it allows everyone to experience the city in a nice manner. And because if one faction is just seeing the city on all realms, let's say Alliance are just killing every single horde that walk into Valdrakken on every single set realm, every single server, everywhere, the horde will never get to see Valdrakken. And it's a cool city. It's one of the best cities that I think Blizzard have ever put into the game. And it's just not right. It shouldn't. No. You can kill people in Stormwind. You can kill people in Orgrimmar. You can do all of that. It's the neutral cities which are fair. And I think that that's very good. And if you go to these cities with war mode on, you will find Horde there. And if you really want to have some world PvP, you go to their, Horde, or the opposite city, the opposite faction city, and you start killing people in their city. Then you'll have your world PvP, so enjoy it. Too many players sit in sanctuary areas, leaving a stale... Okay, yeah, we've gone through that. With boxes being extinct, world PvP, I'm not sure what that means, could potentially be better than it's ever been before. Had there been PvP servers, world PvP has never been as good as it has been now. World PvP has shot up in terms of people engaging in PvP in Dragonflight. You can look at the numbers. It's astounding how many people have engaged in world PvP throughout Dragonflight compared to the rest of the expansions, and it's absolutely amazing. It's so good to see. Number 4, get rid of PvP tiers for gear. Bring back one set of conquest and one set of honor gear. Makes it less dependent on gear and covenant choices. When was this? October 21st. Okay, this was during Shadowlands. Okay, hold up. Why is this one at the top then? Okay, so we're actually going to look at this from the perspective of, have they brought back World PvP? Which, yeah, they kind of have. A lot more so in Dragonflight, but even in Shadowlands, World PvP was still very good. It was still quite strong. Well, covenants are no longer a thing, so I'm not going to entertain that. And PvP gear is a lot better than what it was in Shadowlands. Get rid of horrible grinds to obtain gear. Grinds within grinds is not fun. It literally sucking the life out of the game for PvP. Players want to PvP, do not want to spend insane hours grinding things just to be competitive. Again, it's about how much gear you have and not your skill. The fun factor is gone. I know they are reducing how much honor it takes for a set of gear with 9.1.5, which is great, but the tiers of conquest gear is poor design. I do have to agree with him. In Shadowlands, the gear was very shit, and they have improved it dramatically. So that point has gone out of the window. You might not know it, but it really has, and it has improved since then. Reduce the dependency on which covenant is best or bis in PvP. Having crazy combos, allowing for some classes to dominate others, is not a level playing field. Nothing will ever be perfectly balanced. However, it's pretty blatant that what's good and what's not good currently. RMP in Shadowlands was crazy. I do kind of agree with this, but there's always going to be combos that are good. Evoker Death Knight is a very good combo. Windwalker DK, Ret Warrior, Boomy DH, RMP is still good. You know, there's always going to be combos that are better, and there's always going to be some comps that are better, but that's, like you said, you'll never get a perfect balance, but the Covenants definitely didn't help that in Shadowlands. Maybe create in world events for world PvP to get people out of safe zones. World quests that were good, but they don't offer enough of motivation for people. Again, people have war mode off and never leave their safety net. War mode incentives are garbage, and people could care less. Kind of agree. Again, they did give people more of an incentive to go out and do these world quests for the Trophy of Strife, or the Sparks of Life, essentially, quest, where you have to go and kill people in war mode on to get these sparks, or do world quests, but it's a lot easier just to go and farm it with like a group or something and go to a hotspot for world PvP. Sorry for the wall of text, but I have always loved world PvP. All the incredible guilds of old that battled constantly in some places like Storm Shield, Spies of Arak, Tunan Jungle no longer exist. Chaos and war is what makes WoW. WoW, not running a dungeon 30 times for an achievement, in Wintergrasp and Tolbarad prior to having cross servers and being able to play anywhere. Servers had communities that knew everyone and each other and constantly fought like mad for a win in those areas. Now a wasteland of people that do not want to fight but sit in a safe zone. We need PvP servers, the game is dying. The final sentence of that. So, firstly, people can do what they want in the game. You might think that chaos is what makes WoW WoW. Some people might think running a dungeon 30 times for an achievement is what WoW is. Some people see it as a grind. Some people see it as a PvP or PvE sort of grind. Some people see it as a PvP grind. Some people just enjoy playing like with their little Pokemon and the battle pets, you know, that kind of deal. WoW is what you make it. It's not what anyone else makes it. So you have a completely different view on that to everyone else. I don't get his point of the community stuff. I really don't, and it's really sad. Firstly, when Classic was in the game, Classic very much had PvP servers. Like when it was Classic before Burning Crusade, not Wrath of the Lich King Classic, World of Warcraft Classic era. No, not Classic era, just Classic. They had PvP servers. Everyone knew each other, yes, but there wasn't guilds versus guilds or anything. It was very much, oh, one person's just purging world buffs, or this person's just ganking someone, or there's an undead rogue and Stranglethorn killing level 30s. Is that the world PvP side you really want? Because that was the shit side of it. No one ever wanted that. And that's all people did. There wasn't any of these guild like groups or anything like that. It was very much a couple rogues, kill level 30s in Stranglethorn. When a few level 60s show up, they fuck off. Or you can't find them because they're in stealth. You know, that kind of deal. And it's impossible. And the thing is that world PvP as well, most of it was, oh, a group just got world buffs and there's a dead shaman on the mailbox in Stormwind. Oh, he's rezzed and he's pressing purge. That's it. And then the orc shaman dies. And that's it. That's your world PvP? Is that really fun? No, I didn't think so. World PvP now is better than what it ever was. Hey, community-wise, it's not great. The people who cry out for the community, I've said this before, are the people who ruin the community in World of Warcraft. That's my honest opinion. Because it's, oh my god, you're taking away my, sense of community and I hate this, and you are most likely the problem. I do understand the ones that are like genuinely wanting to find nice people, nice guilds, and be very close with these people and guilds, and etc, etc. But most of the time, people are dicks about the community, and it is, oh my god, like you're trash because your gear score's low, or you're trash because you didn't help me kill a level 70 like rogue or something. And like you're a level 25 human paladin, and it's like, what do you want me to do? That kind of deal. I don't know. They've definitely made a lot of improvements to world PvP, but I think that there is still a bit more that they can do to incentivize people to actually continuously world PvP. But I think it will be very tough. I do think it will be very tough to get people out there to actively do it. Maybe if it added cosmetics, I think that would be the best way to go. Like some really cool cosmetics. Maybe just another color of the tier set for that season for cosmetic wise, which I think they do already, actually, potentially. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's very tough for world PvP, but it's certainly better than what it was when this guy made his post. So with that, I'll leave you there, but thank you all very much for listening. As always, do check out all the socials down below, constant stuff happening over there. Once again, thank you all very much for listening, and go with Valor, friend. Bye all.